I'm sitting there. We're live. How should I announce that we're live? Like how should I do it? Like a boomerang?
I did, but I saw two.
I'm starting out there.
I told my parents to join. Hopefully they do. We need it. That's good. I'll do a few more exclamation marks. 45 minutes until we go live. I do want
Morning, cadre, distinguished guests, and cadets. I am Cadet Angel Granada, one of your MCs for today. And welcome to the annual Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps Detachment 055 Award Ceremony. We are delighted to celebrate with you, in person and virtually, the efforts and hard work of our cadets as well as the culmination of the 2021-2022 academic year. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the national anthem and a presentation of the colors, led by the Section 055's Honor Guard Commander, Cadet Ivan Cervantes.
Work time. Work. Forward. Halt. There. Ready. Go. Left. Face. Present. Work. Order. Forward. Court. Forward. Right shoulder. Forward. Right. Face. Forward. Forward.
Thank you. You may now be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the awards presentation. The awards ceremony is an amazing opportunity to recognize a member's accomplishment from their military, academic, or leadership performance. All of our cadets have worked incredibly hard despite this difficult year, and this is the first of two events where we will honor them with awards and scholarships sponsored by many of the organizations who support the Department of the Air Force and Detachment 055 in our mission to develop leaders of character for tomorrow's Air Force and Space Force. We here at Detachment 055 would like to sincerely thank our sponsors for their continuous support. I would now like to hand it off to Cadet Perez to begin the award ceremony.
Thank you, Cadet Coronado. Good morning, cadre. good morning, cadets, and distinguished guests. I'm Cadet Isabella Perez, your narrator for today's award ceremony. To offer you a brief overview of today's event and to ensure we move in a timely manner, once the award is announced, we will then have the organization's representative, if in attendance, provide a few words of encouragement on behalf of the organization before announcing the cadet recipient. Once announced, the cadets will make their way up to the front, take, shake, salute if the presenter is a military member, and pause for a photo. If there are multiple recipients of the award, we ask that the audience hold their applause until all the recipients of the award have been called. If a member is not present, we will still announce their name and present them the physical award at a later time. Finally, under new UCLA guidelines, all participants are required to wear a face covering throughout today's ceremony. You may remove the mask for photos and to provide remarks. If you are comfortable, however, you must keep the mask on outside of those moments. Without further ado, let us begin. The first award is the Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War. The Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War is a fraternal organization dedicated to preserving the history and legacy of heroes who fought and worked to save the Union. Organized in 1881 and chartered by Congress in 1954, they are the legal successor to the Grand Army of the Republic. This award is given to the superior cadet who displays a high degree of patriotism to our nation and who demonstrates a high degree of academic performance as well as leadership. Representing the Son of the Union Veterans of the Civil War Award is Mr. Dean Smith. Mr. Dean Smith, the floor is yours to make any comments or remarks about this award.
Good morning. Thank all of you for your service, for making this decision to be true patriots. My great-great-grandfather died in his first battle in the Civil War. He was in the 32nd Iowa Company H. After the war, the veterans who survived formed something called the Grand Army of the Republic. And they went to Congress and said, we need trained officers. We didn't have that in this war. In fact, the guy that got my great-great-grandfather killed was a political general named Nathaniel Banks, and he was a terrible general. In any event, they went to Congress and said, you're giving land to colleges. You need to get something in return, and we want you to mandate that they have an officer training program, and that's how ROTC began. The other thing we're very proud of is that one of the generals in the war, who happened to be a political general, but a great general for a change, John Logan, and that's what this medal is about. His wife went to Virginia after the war and saw women putting flowers on graves and came back to her husband and said, John, he was the commander-in-chief of the Grand Army of the Republic after the war. And she said, John, we have to do that. And so he issued an order to the Grand Army of the Republic all over the country and said, on May 30th, you will go out and put flowers on graves. And that was what started what we call Memorial Day. Back then it was Decoration Day. So that's what our ancestors did. And with that, I'll shut up.
This year's Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War Award recipient is Cadet Christian Matamoros.
Take off them. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Dean Smith. Our next two awards are the Reserve Officer Association Awards and the Military Order of the World War Wars Award of Merit. The Reserve Officer Association Award. The Reserve Officer Association Award exists to support and promote the development and execution of a military policy for the United States that will provide adequate national security. This is an accomplishment through advocacy, education, and providing legal support for the reserve service members. The Reserve Service Officer Association Award is given to outstanding cadets who possess individual characteristics contributing to leadership, such as positive attitude, good personal appearance, courtesy, and officer potential. This award is given to cadets in the AS 100, 200, and 300 years. This award will be presented by Colonel Richard Kiki. Junior Vice Commander for Military Order of the World Wars and Treasurer of the Reserve Organization of America. Colonel Kiki, the floor is yours to make any comments or remarks about this award.
Thank you. Originally, this organization was formed exactly 100 years ago by General Pershing. He felt that it was vital that the reserves leaving World War II really needed to stay together and advise our government on just exactly how important it was to have trained reservists. Now, we have two sets of reserves. We have, in your case, we have the Air Force Reserve, and then we also have the Air National Guard. The Air Force Reserve is basically your service people, your doctors, your lawyers, your people that serve at the third echelon. Whereas your Air National Guard are the fighting folks that are in the reserves. Now, the Reserve Officers Association contains members of all services, including the Coast Guard, NOAA, and so on. It has changed its name because it's now allowing anybody that's been in the reserves or active Army, current or retired, to be a member. And therefore, it's changed its name from the Reserve Officers Association to the Reserve Organization of America. And I suggest each one of you, whether you win one of these awards or not, get on the internet and look it up. It's much better explained there than I can explain it to you. But it's vital for the wellness of the reserve forces as well as the retired reserve. It's the only authorized organization that is allowed to go to Congress and advocate for the reserves and all of the things that they've been promised. So it's important to you. Okay, well, we'll start with the three awards. I always give these awards to underclassmen because I want them to have the opportunity to wear it 1, 2, or 3 years. You're not allowed to wear these awards once you've finished, so you stay here. All right, with the first one we have here is, and I'll maybe let you read these names.
Yes, our first recipient is AS 100 Cadet Ashley Fakamujo. AS 200 Cadet Sandy Sarmaputra. And AS 300 Cadet Josh Lee.
Sandy? Here's the certificate. Now, thank you. And how do you pronounce your first name?
Just Josh.
Joshua. Okay, Joshua, good. You're good. Old Testament name.
Round of applause, please, cadets. Thank you, Colonel Kiki.
The Military Order of World Wars. Military Order of World Wars is also quite old and was also General Pershing was instrumental in setting it up. It has thrust for all these years has been to educate young boys and girls, young men and women on citizenship, leadership, and patriotism. And it's done through encouraging junior ROTC and ROTC's participation. And how many of you have been through junior ROTC? Okay. Most of you who haven't need to know that junior ROTC is not trying to enlist people. It's trying to get them to go on to college to learn about citizenship and leadership and teamwork. And it's very important, especially in our inner schools where so many people drop out. They can get into the junior ROTC program, they'll stay. Most 99% of them stay and graduate, and over 50% in most schools go on to college or junior college. So it's very important, and we therefore support that as much as we possibly can. So we have 3 awards the same, first, second, and third year. Cadet Keaton Schultz, I think, is first.
This year's AS200 recipient cadet is Cadet Kyle Kyanan. Our AS300 cadet is Cadet Daniel Lysinga.
Dan?
Round of applause for these cadets. Representing the organizations of the next 3 awards is Colonel Steve Stazo, Vice President for Scholarships of the Armed Forces Communications Engineering Association, Los Angeles Chapter, U.S. Air Force Academy Admissions Liaison Officer, and member of the Air Force Association. The Air Force Communications Electronics Association, AFCEA International ROTC Award, and the AFCEA Los Angeles Chapter Scholarship. AFCEA is an international organization that serves as a forum for the ethical exchange of information in communications, information technology, and electronics for defense, homeland security, and intelligence communications. The AFCEA ROTC Honor Award is designed to recognize ROTC cadets' achievements in leadership and academics. The recipient must be a junior major in a technical discipline. Colonel Stazo, please come forward to the front to represent these awards.
So a minute about the AFCEA organization is it was created right after the end of World War II in recognition of the great collaboration between the military, the government civilians, and the industry that supported World War II. And they collaborated so well during the war that someone had the idea, why don't we continue this collaboration going forward so we're better prepared for future conflicts. And so the organization was created in 1947, and it is, as you heard, a great organization that anyone can join, especially if you're in the cyber or intelligence career fields, but any officer career and enlisted career can join. So I encourage you to look that up as well, especially if you're going into one of those careers. And I have been a member since I was a second lieutenant, shortly after I graduated and got commissioned and started participating in the local events. Everywhere you go, there will be an AFCEA chapter. You can look them up. They usually have a monthly luncheon where they have a speaker to tell you about what's going on in that general area or that program. And usually it's a free or no cost lunch for the military folks too, if that helps you in any way. And so I've been proud to be part of that organization. I am now the Vice President of Scholarships, and we have been able to raise money throughout the several years and always try to make our best scholarship to the local ROTC units. And so this year, we're going to award the scholarship, but there's also an AFCEA International Award that is comes with an actual ribbon. So that lucky recipient is going to be announced next. And so I'm proud to present that one on behalf of AFCEA International as well.
This year's AFCEA International Honor Award recipient is Cadet Angel Coronado. And this year's AFCEA Los Angeles Chapter ROTC Scholarship Award recipient is Cadet Samir Khan.
And this scholarship is worth $2,000. So.
Next, Colonel Cesar will present the Colonel Schillinger Award.
So a minute about, do you have anything to say else about the Schillinger Award, or should I go into that?
Oh, go ahead, sir.
George Schillinger was a ROTC graduate of USC in 1949. He was commissioned a second lieutenant, like you will be, and he was assigned to the Petroleum Engineering Lab at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. He quickly proved his brilliance, because I believe he graduated college when he was maybe 15. And somehow they allowed that. I'm not sure if they do today, but they did then. And he graduated high school early, college early, was assigned, and participated in that petroleum engineering lab. Proved his brilliance quite quickly, became the head of and chief of that lab, and solved many interesting mysteries about why some of the Air Force jets at the time were crashing, and he figured out why. So he was a very distinguished petroleum engineer. He served for about 8 years active duty. He returned to USC as an associate professor, become a professor, and stayed affiliated with his ROTC unit there, and eventually was promoted through the ranks to colonel, and still an active professor at USC. He decided that he wanted to give back as a great example, and so he recognizes a student at each of the 3 Air Force ROTC units in the LA area with a wonderful award that we call the Esprit de Corps Award.
Thank you, sir. The Schillinger Esprit de Corps Award is given to a freshman cadet who shows exceptional dedication and enthusiasm for the Air Force ROTC program. Along with the plaque, Professor Schillinger award the cadet with a scholarship check. The Schillinger Esprit de Corps Award this year goes to Cadet Kali Jackson.
I will say, this particular one, I'm going to take back home with me, because we're going to provide a custom one for you in the next week or so, and I'll come back and deliver it to you.
Thank you, Colonel Cesar. Next, we will present the American Legion Academic and Military Excellence Award. Sponsored by the American Legion Ronald Reagan Pelicities Post 283, we welcome Lieutenant Colonel James Craig, Commander of the Ronald Reagan Pelicities Post.
Thank you. Take a second to talk a little bit about veterans. The American Legion is our nation's largest veteran organization. It was created in 1927 to celebrate veterans, because they thought after the Great War there would be no more wars. And they thought, well, now we can all focus on the afterlife. So I'm here to introduce you to the world of being a veteran. You may not know, but once you graduate, once you're commissioned, and once you spent 1 day on active duty, you're considered a veteran in this nation. You're joining a brotherhood and a sisterhood, both while you're on active duty and while you're in the civilian world. What's neat about that, and what the American Legion tries to promote, is the networking, the mentorship, and the support system that the veterans community offers. You may think of veterans as a bunch of old guys wearing blue hats and going down to a bar and drinking dollar beers. We are trying to get rid of that image. But what we are is a group of people that like to work together. And why do we like to work together? Because once you've put on the uniform and you put in the time and you put in the hard work to gain those bars, you're a person who has a sense of leadership and you have the capability of having that experience. I worked in a stressful and a dynamic environment. And I'm a CEO of a corporation, and I like to work with people like that. The other side is the sense of trust. And I built that corporation through the goodwill of a lot of great people who trust me because they know I'm a veteran, and through the assistance of other veterans who trusted me because they know they can trust in my work. So at some point, we'll welcome you into the world of being a veteran. Hopefully you'll want to join the American Legion. I'm coming up on my 30th year in the Army. I've got 2 more years I just extended, and that's how much I care about the Army. Being in the military, I still run my business, but I still want to be able to put on that uniform. And I'd like to say one thing is that being from the Army side, when you join that veteran community, it's not about Army, it's not about Navy, it's not. We actually just had the Space Force came on and gave a really neat briefing so that we as the American Legion could embrace them into the veteran community. And one kind of sad story that I have to illustrate how we regard each other. I work Special Operations Command. I'm currently assigned to the 1st Special Forces Command. I work JSOC, which is a Joint Special Operations Unit. And so we have members of all branches. And a friend of mine who I worked with, who is buried now in the cemetery about half a mile from here. And it struck me that in JSOC, I work intelligence, we don't wear uniforms, grow our hair long. And for all the years that I worked with this man, I'd never seen him in his Air Force uniform until his funeral. That's how close we are. That's the tight bond. We don't, it's, the inter-service rivalry is great. I have a million Marine Corps jokes, and they're all based on crayons and inability to tell time, okay? But at the end of the day, becoming a veteran, joining our brotherhood and sisterhood is a great privilege, and I hope to see you down the road when you join that. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the beautiful words, Lieutenant Colonel Craig. The American Legion Award for Scholastic Excellence is given to a cadet that ranks the top 10% of their class in academic subjects, top 25% in their class in ROTC classes, and demonstrates qualities of leadership. This award is given to cadets in AS 200, 300, and 400 years. This year's recipients of the American Legion Award for Scholastic Excellence are Bronze 200 Cadet James Post, Silver AS 300 Cadet Doreen Liu, and AS 400 Cadet Gold Cadet Zainab Kasimi.
Shiny coin comes with that. We all collect coins, come on. Check is the most important. I've been drifting back. It's intimidating, all these blue uniforms. I'm in real trouble now.
Next, Lieutenant Colonel Craig will present the American Legion Awards for Military Excellence. This award is given to cadets that rank in the top 25% of their class in academic and ROTC subjects and must have demonstrated outstanding qualities in military leadership, discipline, character, and citizenship. This award is also given to cadets in the AS 200, 300, and 400 years. Sir, would you like to say anything about this award?
Congratulations, good luck.
This year's recipients of the American Legion Award for Military Excellence are Bronze AS 200 Cadet Jocelyn Ruiz. Silver AS 300 Cadet Daniel Isinga. And Gold AS 400 Cadet Jordan Rios.
Sorry, there are too many things. Medals, coins, certificates, checks. Thank you.
Don't worry.
I might as well join the Air Force. No.
There we go.
Finally, Lieutenant Colonel Craig will present the American Legion Scholarships. These scholarships are awarded at the Professor of Aerospace Studies discretion and awarded on the basis of leadership, academic, and military performance. Through Post 283's generous sponsorship, we are able to award 7 scholarships this year. Please wait till I announce the 7 recipients to hold your applause. This year's recipients of the American Legion Scholarship are Cadet Preston Nguyen, Cadet Nathan Padilla, Cadet Isabella Perez, Cadet Nicholas Salduti, Cadet Robert Schrader, Cadet Ethan Sifaisa, and Cadet Keithan Schultz.
Only one card.
Now we will have a 5-minute break and resume at about 10:13. You can use this time to use the bathroom, get water, or stretch your legs. For our honorary guests, there is food in the back.
It's like really hard. They gotta deal with it.
Yes, sir. Just looking up there.
You ever want anybody to speak generalized? Where is it going to be located? Here in LA or?
You're live, Captain.
Hello, Todd.
Hi, Jason. Say hi. We have to bend down. Hello.
Please start in.
Oh, we got 2 lights. Let's go. Oh. My dad, they're wonderful. Right there. Oh, do you want to sit next to us? He's like, if I have to. He's alone.
Welcome back, everyone. Captain Kikai Nuhihiwa Detachment 055 Operations Flight Commander will present the next awards. Captain Nuhihiwa, would you please join us up on the front? The next award presented is the United States Automobile Association USAA Spirit Award. The USAA is a financial institution started in 1922 by 25 Army officers. Ever since its inception, the company has been dedicated to serving military members and their families. This award, which consists of a Leatherman Sidekick Pocket multi-tool, is given to a cadet who demonstrates exceptional service to the Air Force, university, and community. This year's recipient is Cadet Christopher Chen.
So cute.
The next award is the American Veterans and Vets Association Award. This award is awarded to an AS 100 cadet that meets the following criteria: demonstrates a positive attitude toward the Air Force and Air Force ROTC, demonstrates a neat personal appearance, including uniform wear, posture, and grooming, demonstrates outstanding personal attributes, initiative, dependability, judgment, and self-confidence, and demonstrates officer potential, responsibility, adaptivity, high personal standards, and has achieved a grade of A or higher in Air Force ROTC during their most recent grading period, and they are in good academic standing. This year's recipient of the AMVETS Award is Cadet Liam Campbell. The next award is the General Society of the War of 1812. Founded on September 14, 1814, the General Society of the War of 1812 traces its origins to a huge collection of American militia companies, which were called to meet the British thrusts at Baltimore following the occupation of the national capital. Every member of the society is a descendant of a War of 1812 veteran. Today, the objectives of the society are the encouragement of research and the preservation of historical data. The award recognizes one outstanding AS-200 cadet at each detachment who encourages and demonstrates the ideals of Americanism. This year's General Society of the War of 1812 recipient is Cadet Nam Do. The next award is the Military Order of the Purple Heart. The Military Order of the Purple Heart Award recognizes demonstrated leadership ability in a cadet enrolled in an Air ROTC, JROTC program in a high school, college, university, or trade school. To be eligible, the cadet must have a positive attitude toward ROTC, JROTC, and their country, hold leadership positions in the Cadet Corps, be active in school and community affairs, and obtain a grade of B or better in all subjects for their previous semester, and have not been a previous recipient of this award. This year's Military Order of the Purple Heart recipient is Cadet Andrew Chung. The next award is the Military Officers Association of America Award. The MOAA-ROTC Award program recognizes an outstanding cadet in his or her next to last year in the program who has demonstrated exceptional potential for military leadership. To be eligible, the cadet must be in the next to last year of an ROTC program, be in good academic standing, be of high moral character, demonstrate a high degree of loyalty to the unit, school, and country, and demonstrate exceptional potential for military leadership. This year's Military Officers Association of America Award recipient is Cadet Jesse Espinoza. Our next award is the Daughters of the American Revolution Award. Founded in 1890, the Daughters of the American Revolution is a patriotic organization whose members trace their lineage to people who served in the Revolutionary War. Today, the DAR is a nonprofit, non-political, volunteer women's service organization dedicated to promoting patriotism, preserving American history, and securing America's future through better education for children. This award is presented to an AS-400 cadet who ranks in the upper 25% of their academic class and has demonstrated qualities of dependability and good character, adherence to military discipline, leadership ability, and a fundamental and patriotic understanding of the importance of ROTC training. Thank you to the Santa Monica chapter for sponsoring this award. This year's Daughters of the American Revolution recipient is Cadet Melody Griffith. Our next award is the National Sojourner Award. The National Sojourner is a national fraternal organization of Freemasons meeting the needs of those who have served in the U.S. military. This award recognizes an outstanding cadet who contributed to encouraging and demonstrating Americanism within the cadet wing and on campus. This cadet must be in the top 25% of the Aerospace Studies class and demonstrate the ideals of Americanism by deed and conduct. This year's National Sojourners recipient is Cadet Jesse Espinoza. The next award is the Sons of the American Revolution. It is also a patriotic organization whose members are male descendants of people who served in the Revolutionary War or contributed to establishing the independence of the United States. This society is dedicated to perpetuating American ideals and traditions and to promoting and protecting the Constitution. It was founded on April 30th, 1889. This award is given to a superior cadet who displays outstanding leadership qualities, military bearing, and all-around excellence in Air Force ROTC studies and activities. This year's Son of the American Revolution recipient is Cadet Brandon Fuentes. The next award is the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry Award. The Scottish Rite of Freemasonry is a fraternal organization that first started in 1801. Through scholarship grants and patriotic programs, the Scottish Rite benefits communities across the nation and in direct and dynamic ways every day of the year. The Scottish Rite of Freemasonry of the Southern Jurisdiction Award recognizing one outstanding cadet who has demonstrated a potential for outstanding leadership by exhibiting qualities of dependability, good citizenship, and patriotism. This year's Scottish Rite recipient is Cadet Fiona Ewan. Our next award is the Veterans of Foreign Wars. The Veterans of Foreign Wars is a nonprofit veterans service organization composed of eligible veterans and military service members from the active guard and reserve forces. Their mission is to foster camaraderie among veterans of overseas conflicts, to serve our military veterans, the military, and our communities, and to advocate on behalf of all veterans. This year's Veterans of Foreign Wars recipient is Cadet Penelope Benetatos. I will now hand it off to Cadet Coronado to finish the rest of the awards.
Thank you, Cadet Perez. Thank you, Captain Nuhia. We would now like to welcome Commander Detachment 055, Lieutenant Colonel Grant Fowler to this stage to present the next set of awards. The next award is the Air Warrior Courage Foundation of the Red River Valley Fighter Pilots Association Scholarship. In 1998, the Air Warrior Courage Foundation was formed by the members of the Red River Valley Fighter Pilots Association, or the River Rats for short. The AWCF was founded to help with financial problems of warriors not covered by government programs. Eligibility is for a non-scholarship student who has the interest to remain in the Air Force and who demonstrates honesty, integrity, patriotism, and love of country and their fellow warriors. This year's RRBA scholarship recipient is Cadet Dennis Melka. The next award to be presented is the Air Force Association's Bernard Schriever Chapter Awards. The Bernard Schriever Chapter is committed to the goals of the Air Force Association to support and be an advocate for our great U.S. Space Force and U.S. Air Force. Specifically, their goals are to support aerospace education, educate the public about the critical role of space in the support of warfighters and, in turn, all Americans, support the Space Force and Air Force families. They provide annual financial support to this detachment's cadets through scholarships and funding for various social and training events. Through the generous scholarships, we were able to award 8 scholarships this year. The recipients of these scholarships are Cadet Jennifer Reyes, and please hold your applause till the end. Cadet Samantha V. Tang, Cadet Kyle Kyanan, Cadet Sandy Saraputra, Cadet Isabella Perez, Cadet Hannah Suh, Cadet Roman Pama, and Cadet Keaton Schultz. Let's have another round of applause for those cadets. The next award is the Hike Air Force ROTC Scholarship. Colonel Aaron Hike graduated from UCLA in 1996, earning his commission in the Air Force and a bachelor's degree in general physics, and generously continues to give back to the Air Force ROTC program. This year, 2 scholarships sponsored by Colonel Aaron Hike and his family will be presented to 2 outstanding UCLA students majoring in a field of science with a solid GPA. This year's recipients of the Hike Scholarship are cadets Josh Lee and Gavin Teague. Our next award is the Colonel Carl E. Walker Scholarship. The Colonel Carl E. Walker Scholarship Fund was established in 2009 to provide scholarships through Aerospace Studies Department to full-time UCLA students based on scholastic merit or financial need. Through the fund's generous donations, we were able to provide 10 scholarships. This year's recipients of the Colonel Carl E. Walker Scholarship are Cadet Samantha B. Tang, Cadet Jennifer Reyes, Cadet Eric Aceves, Cadet Brian Lee, Cadet Jocelyn Ruiz, Cadet Fiona Ewan, Cadet Ashley Facalujo, Cadet Khalid Jackson, Cadet Michaela Baldwin, and Cadet Kyle Martinich. Next on the list will be the 100th/442nd Veterans Association Award. These two units were composed of Japanese American soldiers. The 100th Infantry Battalion was a unit within the U.S. Army's 34th Infantry Division during World War II. The 100th exists today as the only remaining combat arms unit in the United States Army Reserve. Upon its activation, the 100th saw heavy combat during World War II before and after combining with the 442nd Infantry Regiment. Go for broke was their motto, and that's what they did. They risked everything for the mission. The Fighting 442nd Duty, Honor, and Country Award is presented to a cadet who exhibits exceptional dedication to the defense of our country. This year's 100th/442nd Veterans Association recipient is Cadet Eden Moyle. The next award is the Air Force Association Martin H. Harris Outstanding Cadet of the Year Award. The AFA is a nonprofit, independent, professional military and aerospace education association dedicated to the public understanding of aerospace power and the pivotal role it plays in the security of the nation. This award recognizes an outstanding AS-300 cadet. This year's recipient of the AFA Outstanding Cadet of the Year Award at Detachment 055 is Cadet Samir Khan. And the final award for today is the Westwood Village Rotary Club Sabre of Excellence Award. The Rotary Club is an international service organization formed in 1905 whose stated purpose is to bring together business and professional leaders in order to provide humanitarian services, encourage high ethical standards in all locations, and help build goodwill and peace in the world. The Westwood Village Rotary Club Sabre of Excellence Award is awarded to a cadet who has demonstrated sustained excellence in leadership, service, integrity, and dedication to the cadet wing. This year's Westwood Village Sabre of Excellence is awarded to Cadet Zainab Kassimi. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the awards ceremony. We would like to thank everyone for joining us on this momentous occasion. We wholeheartedly show our appreciation towards all organizations who came out to support us and present our cadets with terrific awards in light of their achievements and efforts. I would like to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Fowler for closing remarks.
Thanks. Cadet Coronado, Cadet Perez, Chong, don't forget Chong, and Cadet V-Tank. Congratulations to that. I want to say thanks to the sponsors. We gave out $51,000 in scholarship money today. So this event, without your generosity, isn't happening. So we very much appreciate that. Happy to have you here in person. So thank you for that. To the cadets, 59 of you got awards today. That's astounding. That is a fantastic job, a great representation of the hard work that you've put in this year. And we're almost done. One lead lab left. And we're ready. We're ready to go to field training. We're ready to commission. You had a great year this year. It's Memorial Day weekend. I want you to have a good time this weekend. Stay safe this weekend. Take some time to remember. Take some time to remember those that have lost their life in service to this great nation. This profession you're joining is tough. It's going to be tough on you. It's going to be tough on your families. It's not for everybody. I want you to take some time this weekend to think. You know the core values. You can say the core values, but I want you to take some time to think about what service before self means this Memorial Day weekend. How are you going to live and lead by the core value of service before self? So take some time this weekend to think about that. Great job today. We'll see you next week.
For our distinguished guests, there's food in the back for you all. Cadets, flight commanders, please take control of your flights and dismiss them.
Where's Chris on ball? Chris on ball. Can I borrow this for 1 month?
Thank you for coming. We're ending it. Bye, everyone.